Everyone knows about the waterfalls in South Iceland, the fjords of the east, and the geysers on the Golden Circle, but there's a secret area of Iceland that people completely forget about, the Reykjanes Peninsula. Today we're talking about 5 must-see places in this forgotten area of Iceland. By the way, my name is Jeannie. I sold everything I owned and moved to Iceland. Now I want to help you plan the trip of your dreams. So let's get into it. So jokes aside, I wanted to point out that the main international airport that everyone goes to is located right on the Reykjanes Peninsula. So if you didn't know what it was, you did, right? But all of that aside, most people just drive by all these sites on their way to Reykjavik or beyond, and they miss some of the coolest places like within just a couple miles of the main road. So, but that's not you. You're watching this video, you're gonna learn about them. The first place is called the Bridge Between Continents. Now, if you didn't already know this, Iceland sits on a plate boundary, goes directly through the country, especially the Reykjanes Peninsula. So the Bridge Between Continents is actually a bridge between continents. I mean, it's rightly named. But what it means is that the Eurasian and the North American plate have diverged and opened up, which exposes this area between. And you know this because Thingvellir National Park is where the same plate boundary exists. Most people go there. Essentially, this is a similar thing. Well, it is the same thing, except for it's just lesser known. They've actually built a bridge between, so you can walk on that footbridge, and then you could just walk around that area, but you can see where the plates diverge. So if you're not going to the Golden Circle, but you want to stand between the North American and Eurasian plate, now you can. The next amazing place on the Reykjanes Peninsula is actually no secret, but it's a must-see. The volcano! Before I get too far into explaining this one, just note that the date of this filming is February 2023. The volcano is not currently erupting. The last time that it erupted was in 2022. Scientists don't know when it will erupt again. They think it will. It's a whole thing. So before you plan your trip around the volcano, just know that you have to research if it's actually currently erupting. This particular volcano that we're referring to in this video is called Fagradalsfjall. This is the volcano in the area of the Reykjanes Peninsula. Started erupting in March of 2021. So it was a huge deal, all over the news, big lava, all, spilling out, spewing up, the whole thing. Like typical volcano situation. This was a huge tourist draw as well. There's several hiking paths that you can take around it. I've done a whole video on how to get to those areas, so please watch that if you want to still check that out. But currently, like I said, the lava has stopped flowing out of this volcano and it has hardened-ish, right? So it's just like a black lava with a cone of where the volcano used to be erupting. So you can actually still visit the site. And if you're interested in doing some hiking and seeing the beautiful scenery around the area, you can still get there. There's a formal parking lot and everything. But in the event that it would start erupting again, this is definitely something that you want to experience on the Reykjanes Peninsula. Now at this point in the video, I do just want to pause and say that I'm going to be talking about 5 locations on the Reykjanes Peninsula, but there are so many more places that you can see, as well as where are the restaurants, where are the toilet stops, where are the hotels, and all of those kind of things. And what I've done is I've made a digital map that is really easy to use for planning and also when you're in Iceland. So now you can just navigate around using this map in the palm of your hand on your smartphone or on your tablet. And I've made it so that it just makes it easy for you to get around Iceland and you know where everything already is. If you're interested in knowing exact locations, then make sure to grab that digital map. I'm gonna put a link in the description box below so your planning can be as seamless as possible. Now let's get on to the next location. Next up is a place called Reykjanes. That is a mouthful. Reykjanes, otherwise known as the Cliffs of Reykjanes. This place is located right on the sea. It's filled with cliffs, basalt stacks in the ocean. You have the waves crashing in. It is really beautiful. And it might make you think, because it is very similar to Reynisfjara on the south coast of Iceland. So again, if you're not able to make it out there, you just drive down from the airport and go to Reykjanes. Now you'll be able to see something that looks, in my opinion, just as beautiful. This is definitely a hidden gem. The other thing to note is right next to Reykjanes, you have this beautiful lighthouse behind, as well as as a geothermal power plant area that's called Gunnakver. So you're like looking at these cliffs, and behind you there's like steam coming out of the earth and a beautiful lighthouse. It's a really cool area. Another place on Reykjanes that I absolutely love is called Seltn. This is located in the Keflavik, and this is a geothermal area that's filled with mud pits, super colorful blues, greens, orange, yellows, and like these steaming vents. And it's really again, another hidden gem, underrated. Why don't people go see this? They have these pathways that you can walk through, so you can, see the mud pits boiling down here and you're walking up. Just a beautiful area. I highly recommend this spot. When you arrive, it's likely that you'll be one of maybe 5 to 10 cars in the parking lot. And in my opinion, very similar, comparable to the place called Hverir in North Iceland. So again, not a lot of people make it all the way up to the north, and there's that famous geothermal area. And now you can go here instead. The last place, but certainly not least, is the Blue Lagoon. Hear me out. I know this is very controversial. Oh my gosh, it's so touristy, but it's the most popular tourist attraction in Iceland for a reason. The milky blue waters, in the lava rocks, and the silica mask. I mean, it's a spa experience in the middle of Iceland. It's cool, let's be honest. So I'm not here to tell you whether or not to go to the Blue Lagoon. I'm just saying it's located on the Reykjanes Peninsula. And while there's plenty of hot water in Iceland that you can experience, the Blue Lagoon is unique in its own way. Speaking of the Blue Lagoon, if you loved this video, but you're still having a hard time deciding if you're gonna go to the Blue Lagoon or not, make sure to check out that video that I made. I help you decide based on the pros and cons. But that's it for today, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. But until then, happy planning.